Hare Krishna, welcome back to my channel. I am Radhika Pyari Devidasi and today I am going to share with you the glories of DevUthani Ekadashi. This Ekadashi is also called as Prabodhini Ekadashi, HariBodhini Ekadashi or Utthana Ekadashi. Lord Brahma said to Narad Muni that, "O Narada, please hear from me the glories of this Ekadashi, which is actually known to reduce and eradicate all the sins of an individual who fasts during the light fortnight of the month of Kartik." Now, this Ekadashi is known to eradicate sins. At the same time, it is also known to grant such great merits to an individual who fasts on this day. At the same time, it opens up the doors of spiritual world, so that after this fast, once this fast is performed nicely, the person is eligible to enter into the spiritual abode and reside eternally in service of Lord Shri Vishnu. This Ekadashi is actually more purifying than a person going to an ocean or a place of pilgrimage and taking bath there. This Ekadashi is known to have such merits that it can actually nullify sins more than someone performing 1,000 Ashwamedh and Rajasuya Yagyas. So that is the power of this Ekadashi. Now Narad Muni asked Brahmaji to tell him that what are the relative merits which a person achieves after performing fast on this Ekadashi on different levels. So the first, if someone completely fasts on this Ekadashi, then what are the merits? If someone does fasting but eats once, like during the midday, then what is the merit? And if one eats during supper, then what are the merits? On this, Lord Brahma says that a person who completely fasts on this HariBodhini Ekadashi, they actually get rid, or their sins from the last 7 births, previous births, are all eradicated. They are all nullified. And if someone who eats during supper time, like in the entire fasting day, if they eat like a Ekadashi Prasad during the supper time, then their previous two previous birth sins are all eradicated. And if once someone eats during the midday once, then their previous birth, all the sins are eradicated. Now, if someone who has committed a lot of sinful activities and the reactions of it is like the volume of Mount Sumeru, then that much sin is also reduced to nothing if one fasts on this particular Ekadashi. And if someone remains awake during the night of this particular Ekadashi and chants the Lord's glories, then there are 1,000 lifetimes of previous sinful activities, they are all eradicated as well. There are different kinds of sinful activities. A person who may commit this kind of activities are the ones who may be an atheist, who do not believe in God, who do not follow the rules and regulations of the Vedic injunctions. They completely deny actually the Vedic scriptures. A Brahmana who is not really a Brahmana who is disrespected, a Brahmana who actually has illicit relationships with another's wife or the wife of another Brahman, or a widow, someone who mistreats animals, or someone who does any kind of sinful activities, they all are kind of candidates towards the hellish regions. Now, there are 3 kinds of men in a category who actually completely destroy their acquired merits. So one of the person who is liking the association of rogues. Then there is a person who has illicit relationships with the wife of a dog eater. And then there is individuals who are very immoral in character. So these kind of individuals, even if they have very nice merits like pious credits, but because of this kind of character, they can actually destroy all their acquired merits. But now, even these kind of people who have done sinful activities, who have lost their merits, they all, if they, with due consideration, if they think about performing this fast properly, nicely, then all these sinful reactions can all be nullified, can all be forgiven, and they can actually become eligible to enter into the spiritual abode. If now the ancestors of such individuals who are performing this HariBodhini Ekadashi, they are suffering in the hellish regions, then these ancestors also get liberated from that hellish life, and they attain spiritual bodies or spiritual forms, and in that very lifetime they are going back to the spiritual world. That is the potency of performing fasting on this HariBodhini Ekadashi. One of the greatest benefits of performing this particular Ekadashi is that if a person very sincerely is fasting with complete devotion to Lord Keshava, then this person have to never enter a womb again. He never has to take material birth again. Narad Muni here asked Lord Brahma that in what way, what are the rules to be followed on this particular Ekadashi in order to complete this fasting. So Lord Brahma replies to Narad Muni that person should wake up early in the morning on the day of Ekadashi before Brahma Muhurat. They should take bath either in a pond or lake or at home, brush their teeth, like clean their teeth. They should glorify the Lord by singing glorification, like descriptions about the Lord, and then they should chant. They should chant the holy name. They should glorify like that, and they should meditate. Then they should go in front of the Supreme Lord and they should pray to the Lord in the form of Lord Keshava and say that, "Hey Lord Keshava, I am today going to perform this fast. Please give me your shelter. Please help me to perform this fast properly with complete devotion." And then after that, start this fast. So once the fast starts, then the particular procedure is such that one should try to offer camphor, incense, fruits, and flowers. There is a flower called aguru flower. That flower is very much liked by Lord Keshava on this particular day, especially. So, if that flower is offered, then the Lord will be very, very pleased. And also, there is a flower called Kadamba flower. It is very famous flower too, which Lord Krishna likes. So if that flower is actually said to be offered to Lord Keshava on this day, then a person doesn't have to see the abode of Yamraj at all. This kind of activity has to be done, and then whole day one has to try not to get too much engaged into any kind of material activity and try to engage their mind more into spiritual devotional activities if that is possible. And then in the night time one should not sleep, so one should try not to sleep. So if one doesn't sleep on this particular Ekadashi and just play some instruments and glorifies the Lord or chant his glories or hear some kirtan or something like that, then this Ekadashi fast becomes complete in its sense that the person not just pleases Lord Keshava, but at the same time he makes himself eligible to enter into the spiritual abode. Now, in this particular day itself, worship of Tulsi Maharani is very much essential. So, either watering the plants of Tulsi, meditating on the Tulsi leaves, meditating on the Tulsi plant, or chanting her glories, or narrating the stories of Tulsi Maharani, in all different activities where Tulsi Maharani is to be worshipped. If that activity is done, then Lord Krishna is very, very much pleased, and that person definitely gets a residence into the abode of Lord Hari and serves eternally Lord Hari. Now, after this entire fasting and then waking up and worshipping Tulsi, being awake in the night and worshipping Tulsi Devi, it's all completed. And the next day, the person should again wake up early, and then the bhoga which is made should be offered, and that bhoga should be actually offered to a brahmana. He should be fed. Any kind of donation or charity is very much appreciated on this Ekadashi also, and on the next day the brahmana should be at least given a cow in charity or the food stuff, whatever is our means. And then if that is given, then after that, that particular brahmana, when he's happy with the meal, then we should partake the prasadam. Then the person, after taking little bit of grain prasada, then the person should worship his spiritual master, because that pleases Lord Krishna, because the spiritual master is representative of Lord Shri Krishna. Now there are many other things which actually has been described in this glories of HariBodhini Ekadashi, which we can do and which we cannot do. In this Kali Yuga, not many things are possible. So the best thing which can be done is actually chanting the glories of Ekadashi. What is actually possible in our means is to chant the glories, read the description, serve Tulsi Maharani, and fast as much as strictly we can in whatever means we can. Give a little bit of charity. We can't find Brahmana, but then we can just give something in charity at the temple or to some Brahmanas we know. This is the month of Kartik and the importance of lighting the ghee lamp and offering it to Lord Keshava. So at the same time, there is a reference in the Skanda Puran which actually mentions about a female rat who actually indirectly offered on the Ekadashi day uh, this ghee lamb to Lord Krishna, and died in that offering, and actually got a human form of life and at last achieved the greatest destination. So Srila Sanatan Goswami, he mentions in one of his commentaries through this Skanda Puran, he actually tells about the story that how this mouse was living in the temple. He was actually staying in the temple, and it was Kartik month and it was Ekadashi day. And then what happened was this mouse or this rat would always eat the ghee from that extinguished diya. After the lamp has been lit, he would eat from there. So one of the days when it was Ekadashi, the rat or the mouse was very very hungry, and he just saw this ghee lamp and it was still lit, but it just went and started eating. So because it was burning still, it went in its mouth and its mouth burned, and then in burning its entire body started burning. And then what happened was this mouse was in pain. It started jumping up and down, and in doing that, while eating that, while getting burned, it was dead. So because this mouse did all these things in front of the Lord, and it was an Ekadashi day, and he was actually indirectly showing that lamp to the Lord accepted it as an offering of Artika and liberated this mouse. So on this particular Ekadashi, if this offering of ghee lamp is done, then there is no doubt that that person will be going to the spiritual abode. So anyone who will fast on this Ekadashi nicely, there are the merits which a person achieves through that. One who remains awake, there are so many merits. There is also a merit that if someone remains awake in the night, then what happens is that the amount of sin in the past lives this person has done, they just get burned like a mass of cotton which is kept and burnt at once. It just burns like that. So that is the glories. Worship Tulsi Maharani, chant as much as you can, fast as much as you can, and also remember to give some kind of little bit of donations if you can, not just to the temple. If you know like very pious Brahman or someone whom you can help, just do that, or give some gold in charity or something like that, which will be beneficial. Or worship your spiritual master, offer him the food or any kind of in this 4 months of Chaturmasya. If you have followed Chaturmasya, then it is said actually when someone follows the Chaturmasya, whatever things they have did tyag of, or they have renounced those things in this 4 months, if they donate those things during this Ekadashi, then that is also very beneficial. So I hope you liked hearing about the glories of HariBodhini Ekadashi. This is the same Ekadashi. Now the Lord will be awake from his sleep from the milk ocean, and all the demigods also. Now after this Ekadashi onwards, all the auspicious events starts happening, like marriage and all auspicious things, marriage, engagements, construction, and all the things starts happening. So do take complete benefit of this Ekadashi. This is Kartik month, and do read about the Ekadashi glories too, because the Ekadashi glories of this particular day is so extensive, so wide, that I couldn't mention all of it in this one video. So thank you so much for watching. Hare Krishna.